Dolphins thirsty, they never show no mercy. On the field or in the game, Miami knows how to play. Dolphins thirsty, we all get down and dirty. Tell you what you wanna know, it's the Dolphins Show. Quench your thirst for all things Miami Dolphins. They are the football kings, cause they play to win. Come on in and have some fun, whether we have lost or we have won. For all things Miami, it's Dolphins Thursday.
Good morning, Miami Dolphin fans. It is Wednesday. We are getting that much closer to a critical AFC East game against the Buffalo Bills. Good morning, Dolphin Don. Big fins up to you. Thank you for coming in. No whining here. It's a wonderful Wednesday in South Florida. Always fins up here, Michael K. That's all I have to say. But thank you for coming in and nailing a thumbs up for me today again. Good morning. Back It Up Ben's podcast. Go check out his stuff. Good stuff. Sports trivia, movie trivia, immaculate grids, you name it. The Back It Up Ben's podcast has it. And thank you for stopping by the show last night on the Fins Talk Sports Network. Mr. Back It Up Ben's podcast, JB. You got to see Steve in a very animated mood. It was fun, though. I loved it when he brought that energy. Today's going to be a simple show. Last week's behind us. We're going to focus on Michael K's Buffalo Bills and playoff scenarios on what we need to happen as far as not need because we're in the playoffs no matter what, but scenarios on who we would play in the first round. If we lose, we basically are playing Kansas City. So that's pretty cut and dry. But there are a couple of different scenarios where we could either play the Pittsburgh Steelers or the Buffalo Bills if we win in the first round. We could very well have to play Buffalo back-to-back, or if in some weird scenarios where a couple teams win, Buffalo's would not be the first round opponent and it would be Pittsburgh. So there are different scenarios out there that we will look into, and that will be pretty good. That would be fun to do. Good morning, Canes, Dolphins. I don't know if any of you guys watched Hard Knocks last night. I wasn't going to, but being a Dolphin fan, I forced myself to watch it, and I watched it. And obviously, it wasn't as nice as an episode as other episodes because of the ugly beatdown. But overall, there was a couple okay moments in it. Not the best Hard Knocks in my book, but of course, I'm a little biased, and I didn't like it because I knew the outcome already. But it was okay. Nothing spectacular. Not as good as the previous week when you had the Dan Marino Christmas stuff and all of that fun stuff. And of course, that was leading up to a victory. So again, my opinions probably slanted in that direction. But it was an okay episode. Nothing. It wasn't earth-shattering. It wasn't awful. It's just meh. It was just a meh episode of hey, fins up to you, Bobby. I was just giving your network a shout out last night, giving Steve Malloy, saying that he was very animated. So people go check that out. It was fun. I will check out your 9:30 show from last night later, Bobby. I got so drained after that show last night. I was like, I need a break. And I watched Hard Knocks, even though Hard Knocks wasn't really much of a break because you knew the outcome was coming. But overall, Hard Knocks just, like I say, meh. And that's just probably a Dolphins fan slanted opinion. As far as Buffalo Bills, they definitely dominated us in the past several meetings other than our one victory against them last year down here in South Florida. So hopefully we return the favor again and get a victory here. We know how it went up in Buffalo. It was not pretty. So we got to get over that hump of beating Buffalo. Josh Allen is an elite quarterback when he plays the Miami Dolphins. I'm going to go over some of the numbers he's put up against the Miami Dolphins. And if you're queasy, it's not going to be easy to listen because as much as we like to pick on Josh Allen, when he goes against the Dolphins, he plays at elite level. So hopefully the Dolphins find some remedy to that situation and quick, because before you know it, it's going to be Sunday night and our Dolphins are going to be playing for the AFC East title, which to me is basically a must-win game. in my book. Good morning, G-Man. Fins up to you. Yeah, I didn't watch it. Ain't gonna. Yeah, I wasn't gonna watch it. Dolphin down. Believe me, I feel you. I was all intentions of not watching it. Then the next thing you know, I'm turning it on and I'm watching the silly thing. So it was just meh. But that's just me because we lost. But I won't give any spoilers. But they had Javon Holland mic'd up during the week and some little things like that, and the normal Mike McDaniel speech and stuff like that. But it obviously wasn't as cheerful as the Christmas edition Hard Knocks. So let's just leave it at that. Hey, Scotty, big fins up to you. No problem, man. Thank you for checking in. And when you're out there running errands, always I love it, Scotty. You are a person I'm going to want to try to get on my show during the draft season. I know you love the NFL draft, Scotty. So I'm going to try to recruit you to do some shows about some of your favorite prospects. Should be fun. But right now, we're focused on the Buffalo Bills. Hey, Steve. I was already talking about you this morning, Steve, how you were fired up last night. Yeah, last night was, but like I said, overall, they've been okay with Hard Knocks, G Man. But yeah, last night, but again, it came from a bias already knowing that we were going to lose the Buffaloes. And when they were joking around in practice, I was like, oh, this is why. This is why we lost because they're just laughing and having fun. Which, of course, has nothing because I'm sure they laugh and have fun every single week of the season leading up to the games. So, but it's just that's just how I took it. But that's the grumpy old Dolphin fan in me. Reality is, who knows how much of a distraction it really is to them. But yes, they were hamming it up a bit leading up to that game. Hey, Outback. Welcome to the show, Outback. Thank you so much. Guys, when you get a chance, nail those fins up, thumbs up. Love it. Thank you. I know you will do it for me. Yeah, read the prediction. Hey, yes, you would be right, Scotty. I predicted 11-6. Now it looks like I'm going to be disappointed. I would have been happy earlier in the season with 11-6 because that's what I predicted. I was thinking that's about where we were falling. But then with all those early wins, I was hoping maybe to get past my 11-6. But it's going to come down to the very last week to see if they can get past that 11-6. I was consistently saying 11-6 all off season into the season. Don't even pay much attention to the schedule, just figuring being the rigors of the NFL, tough games here and there. Didn't factor in we would lose to Tennessee. There you go. Just things like that. Didn't factor in maybe we would get off that the Chargers wouldn't be that good. I had ranked the Chargers a little high. So you just never know when you look at the schedule. But I basically overall said it would be 11-6, and here we are at the doorstep of 11-6 already. I want to take the next step up the door and knock on the 12-win season. That's what we need. Because let's face it, if Buffalo wins, we finish with identical records, but they would have swept us in the AFC East. So they would have the division, and we would have to travel all throughout. It's a big difference, guys. This is like a must win. This is a playoff game for the Miami Dolphins. They have to come out and play like this. It's a playoff game. If they get blown out again, it's an embarrassment as a Dolphin fan. I'm not going to hide. If they come out and play competitive, at least they went down fighting, but they better come out and win. And honestly, they just got to come out, find a way to win. You're in your home stadium, which you want in the NFL. That's why teams fight for it in the playoffs because home field makes a difference. So go out there Sunday night, where historically the Dolphins don't play well at night for the past several years, I should say. Back when I was a kid, they used to be the Monday Night Kings, but nowadays they just don't play well when the lights come on. The Dolphins turn off. So we got to get rid of a whole bunch of stigmas this week. The fact that we can't beat Buffalo and the fact we don't play well on prime time. So come on, Dolphins, refocus, regroup, recircle the wagons, get back to business of playing football. This team has talent. They can go out and they can win. It's a Super Bowl winning talent. Doesn't look like it compared to the Ravens. But can they beat Buffalo for the division title? Most certainly they can. So that's what their focus should be on. Hey, Mr. Dunlop and Vito. all you guys sneaking in here, hitting those thumbs up. I love it, man. This is awesome. Let's see. G Man says his team has talent, but no leadership. So you might be very well. Some people don't think we have talent. So as that we claim to have, that it's overrated talent. Some people say, and it's bought talent. Others say it's a coaching staff. Others say it's a combination of the things. But whatever it is, they better regroup this week and beat Buffalo. Because when I read over some of the numbers that Josh Allen has put up, it's not going to be very easy to your ears. But I would just go just to let you know kind of what we're looking at. Because I know Dolphin fans, we love to pick on Josh Allen, but for whatever reason, when he goes against the Dolphins, he's like all pro elite level Josh Allen. I don't know what he does. I don't know if they just know how to read what we're doing. They know how to take advantage of our personnel, but his numbers are like Dan Marino like numbers in his prime when he goes against the Dolphins. I don't get it. It is what it is. And then for the playoff scenario, that's not as ugly, so we'll cover that last and see where we basically fall. Easy if we lose. We're basically going to be going into Arrowhead Stadium taking on the Kansas City Chiefs. If we win, basically it's kind of easy. We're either going to be taking on the Steelers or the Bills, most likely the Bills, unless the Steelers go into Baltimore. I would look at all of it directly, but for us not to face the Bills, we basically have to have the Steelers beat the Ravens. Maybe the Ravens are playing all their backups and the Steelers are playing for their playoff drive. So maybe. But then I think Jacksonville also has to beat Tennessee, or did I get it wrong? I will read it in a minute. Or Tennessee has to beat Jack. I forget. But there are scenarios where we do not play Buffalo in the first round. Not that I've seen, but I haven't even checked the Dolphin news this morning, Vito. But we had not signed in Dominic Sue the last I checked. But like I said, he's more interior. We've been getting that nailed in the edge positions this year. So I don't know. Just it is what it is though on those injuries front. Man, it's just you wish you had a time machine and go back and tell him to get Chubb out of the game. I know maybe he would have got hurt in the first play against Buffalo this week. You don't know, but at least it wouldn't have felt like it was in garbage time. At least you wouldn't have that laying over your head. I know that very likely could have happened. He could have gone out first snap against Buffalo, bust up his knee, but then you're not going to be saying, "Well, he shouldn't have been in there," because at least you feel like he should be in there. Just it is what it is. It's ugly. We've lost players this year. A lot of teams have lost players. It's just we've lost some of our players at the beginning of the year. If you would have told me a few players, if you would have named 10 players that I said we probably couldn't lose, we've lost a lot of them. Connor Williams would have been near the top of the list. Jalen Phillips would have been near the top of the list. Jalen Ramsey missed a lot of time this year. So some of our key players have missed time. Jalen Waddle is now out. Mozart missed this week. So it is what it is. You still got to go out and win this Sunday night, guys. And it's in our face to win. No, of course, second guessing is always 100%. But I did, and to me, I did say, get Chubb out of there. But hey, I didn't even know why he was in there. I feel like I almost jinxed him because I was saying, why is Chubb in the game? So, but it is what it is. You're right, Scotty. It's easy to play the results. We were all basically future contract if you like someone from the PS. So the coach still learning how to be a head coach. That's the main problem. His mistakes are killing us. That's from G Man. Yeah, he's still making some mistakes for sure. He is. I still think he is our future. I think we found our long-term coach. Only way that doesn't happen is if we don't come to fruition by the end of next year. Then all the cards are off the table again because Ross is probably he gets that 3-year itch, it seems like, if we don't get results. So I would say this year he's safe, but if we don't win by next year, Ross is going to say, man, I'm paying all this money, doing all of this, and he gets that 3-year itch where he thinks it's time to get a new coach. This time it'll probably be a new gen. It would be a whole blow up again. So, but let's not get there. Let's win this week. I mean, guys, we can rectify the uglies of last week if you just go out and beat Buffalo this week. Because if you go and beat Buffalo, win the AFC East, somehow get one playoff win. Yes, we all want more. But if you get one playoff win, it's something to build upon for the future. Because then going into next year, you're finally you don't have that on your shoulders anymore, thinking, oh, we haven't won a playoff game since um January, December 30th, 2000. December 30th, 2000. We haven't won a play. And they hear Mike McDaniel in his press conference when he got hired mention how long it's been since the Dolphins had won a playoff game. So they can say they don't listen to outside noise, but they know. They know. So that would get that monkey off their back. Go out there, beat Buffalo, get a playoff win. Anything else is icing on the sundae and a cherry on top after that this year due to how we've lost Chubb, Phillips, Connor Williams. Not making excuses, guys, but we did lose a lot of guys. So let's just move forward, get a playoff win, get that monkey off our back so we're not mentioned on the teams the longest drought in playoff because it looks like Detroit's probably going to win some playoff games this year. So we will be the longest running team if we don't get a playoff win. So go out there and get there. You can't say long-term solution until he learned from his mistakes and prove that he knows what he's doing. You can't. No, that's your opinion, G-Man. I agree. He has to win. That's why I did disclaim at the end. He has to win by next year for sure, or he's not going to be the long-term coach because Ross is known to basically have that 3-year itch. If you don't perform by the end of the third year, you're not going to be the head coach of the Miami Dolphins for much longer. It is what it is. But he can go out there and he gets a playoff win this year. It would be growth in my book. Yes. Of course, we want that. But I just don't think this team is Super Bowl ready, this Dolphins version of the team this year with how they're currently put together with the performances that they've done, unless they just have some miraculous bug hit them. But basically, every good team they've played this year, they haven't played well against other than the Dallas Cowboys. The Bills blew us out. The Eagles could have gone either way. It was bad refereeing, yada, yada, yada. Kansas City, we should have been able to beat that team. We didn't. We just, for whatever reason, we don't step up in the big games. So whether you want to blame the coach, you want to blame the players, you're going to blame Greer for hiring the coach and putting the players together. To me, the Super Bowl, of course, this should be the goal of every single team, including the Carolina Panthers heading into next year. That's what every goal should be. That's what I want. I want a Super Bowl. I was 4 years old when the Dolphins won the Super Bowl. I don't remember crap from that. So I want my Dolphins to win a Super Bowl more than anything in my sports life, obviously. Health and all that is, you know what I mean. Anything in sports, the Dolphins are what I want to see. My baseball team's already won multiple World Series for me. And those are the only other team I care about in sports. The Boston Red Sox and the Miami Dolphins. Red Sox struggling right now, but they've done enough winning for me to make me happy for years. Dolphins just won Super Bowl. JB, that's what I want 100%. But I just, from realistic looking, I just don't know this year, JB. If you want to come in here and talk and tell me why you think this team can win the Super Bowl this year, I would more than welcome some positive mojo coming into the room. I get the whole we lost X starters to injury. It's the front office is not playing for that, and they're playing checkers. Not unfortunately, you are right. I know most teams, though, it's hard with limited space and roster positions and cap space to hit on all. But yes, we lack some depth in some areas. Offensive line has performed way better than I anticipated this year. When you consider, all the amount of injuries, losing Connor Williams, they're still playing decent out there. I don't know. It's tough though, man. It's been tough on that injury front. But I think the Ravens kind of put a squash on my Super Bowl hopes. But can they change that? Yes. There are times that teams get beat down in the regular season and then turn around and beat that same team in the playoffs. Is it possible? Yes. But would I bank on it? No. That's why I think at least an AFC East title, which you haven't done forever, and a playoff win would be steps in the right direction as far as getting some confidence back in this organization about playing winning football when it matters. Because if you just go one and done, because we're definitely in the playoffs. So if you just go one and done, to me, that's the worst to me. Some teams can't even place one starter. Just say we have depth to replace your entire starting line. It's observe. G-Man says, I saw this coming all year, compiled 11 win against bum teams, losing to, well, all the good teams besides Dallas. The signs were there. I tried to point them out. I was called negative. Well, we're just trying to keep you positive. Still trying to keep you positive, G-Man, because like I say, there's no reason to stress yourself out over these games. I do it all the time. Try to tell myself all the time, so it's easier to tell you not to stress out and look in the mirror and tell myself, don't stress out. But I do. I stress out too, and I worry about it. But at the end of the day, none of us in this room have control over the results. So now I'm going to get a little bit into why Buffalo has been beating us, and it's basically Mr. Josh Allen. This is Josh Allen. He's 9-2 against Miami with a 31-5 touchdown to interception ratio. We always talk about him throwing interceptions, but for against the Dolphins, they don't come that often. 31-5 touchdown ratio. He has a career passer rating of 110.8. So basically 111 passer rating against Miami. His past 4 games against Miami, 13 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, with passing totals of 400, 305, 352, and 320, including the 320 this year, but came with a perfect passer rating of 158.3. So somehow the Miami Dolphins have got to figure out a way to stop Josh Allen this week. You cannot let him put up those kind of numbers. I know. To me, that's why I always think, because I don't really watch too many games of other teams other than when playoff scenarios. I did watch Buffalo against Kansas City and some stuff like that. Didn't even see them against the Chargers because I don't have Peacock. But the simple fact of the matter is why I think Josh Allen is good, because I always see him against the Dolphins and he looks like an all-pro against the Dolphins. But then you see him in other games and he's really mortal. So it's really strange that he has this dominance over the Dolphins. I don't know if it's our scheme. He just gets extra motivated to play the Dolphins. I don't know what it is. I don't get it. I don't like it. I hate it. Despise it. Hate reading those numbers, but the facts are facts. And he puts out against the Dolphins at elite levels. That is tough. So there, I wanted to just get that out of the way. But basically, that's why we do not play well against Buffalo. Josh Allen goes Superman against us for whatever reason. He also has good rushing yards, which I didn't even get into against us. So I just don't know. If Tua plays the exact same thing he did against Havlas, is it good enough to beat the Buffalo 300-yard? I think Miami can beat Buffalo. I really do. Even after that beat down in Baltimore, I do believe that the Dolphins can go out there and beat Buffalo. Back it up, Ben's podcast. I want you to get in the show one day and give me your positive reasons why you think Miami is capable of winning a Super Bowl. Because to me, it's not that realistic this year. So that's why I don't want to lower the bar, because I think we should never lower the bar. Expectations should always be Super Bowl or bust. But with that said, a playoff win this year would be a step at least in the right direction moving forward, since we haven't had one since 2000, 23 years. It's insane to even say that with the Dolphins I grew up watching, that you would go that long without winning a playoff game. It's insane to me. You think you would have backed into a playoff win at some point, that you got lucky that a fumble went your way and you won the game at the last minute. It just hasn't happened for the Dolphins for 2 decades plus. So, you're right, Scotty. Any teams that get in the playoffs can win the Super Bowl, but it all depends on how you're playing. So if you go in losing to the Ravens like we did, and then you lose to the Bills, I don't know how confident you're going to be. That's why, to me, this game this week, go into the playoffs with momentum of winning. Because past few years when we've gotten to the playoffs, it's like help. I mean, last year we had to back into the playoffs, even though we won on the last game of the year. We still needed help from Buffalo, of all teams, for us to back into the playoffs. And then what were we? We were one and done again. Even though we played decently against Buffalo with Skylar Thompson at the helm. So there is hope, man. There is hope this week. I don't know what happened in that first game up in Buffalo. They just smashed us. We were too cocky coming off the 70-point game. We were feeling ourselves. Maybe Buffalo was just hearing about how they weren't that great because they were coming off. They had already lost. So they came out and they smacked us in the mouth just like the Ravens did this past week. So that's the only thing that worries me, because I thought last year we had improved against Buffalo. We beat them one time and was competitive the 2 other times against them. But then this year they just beat us down horribly. So maybe that's why I'm a little in my feelings worrying about Buffalo. That's going to be great, man. And I believe actually anyone can come in and talk today, but we will set something up for you. Back it up, Ben's podcast. We will set something up. Guys, if you want to come in and give your either reasons why you think we can win or why we're bad, you can again. But now I'm going to get into the scenarios at where we're done talking about Josh Allen's dominance. Oh, I don't have the article. Give me 1 minute. I got to go find those Dolphin scenarios. But basically, let's see, is this it? Here, this is it. So they look at all the scenarios. If the Dolphins win on Sunday, they would be the 2nd seed and play host to Pittsburgh in the first round of the playoffs if the Steelers win at Baltimore, which I can say, who knows, because Baltimore doesn't have anything to play with on Saturday, and the Jaguars beat the Titans. The Bills would be out of the playoffs in that scenario. So that's the one where Buffalo is out of the playoffs altogether. So as Dolphin fans, we would definitely could root for that, because beating them twice in a row, that could be hard. So that's if the Dolphins win on Sunday, they would be the number 2 seed and play host to Pittsburgh in the first round of the playoffs. If Steelers win at Baltimore, I don't know if that's going to happen. Even if Baltimore's backups on Saturday and the Jaguars beat the Titans, the Bills would be out of the playoffs. And so in that scenario, the Steelers would clinch the 7th seed. The 2nd and 7th seeds meet in the first round. Only the top seed gets a first round bye. So if the Dolphins win on Sunday, they would be the 2nd seed and play host to Buffalo in the first round of the playoffs. This is probably going to be what it is. If the Steelers lose at Baltimore and Jacksonville wins at Tennessee. So there you go. Or the Steelers win and the Titans beat Jacksonville. Both of these scenarios presume that Indianapolis and Houston do not tie in their matchup. So that's just assuming there's no tie in the Indianapolis and Houston matchup. In this scenario, the Bills would be assured of the 7th seed, and the Dolphins would end up hosting Bills on consecutive weekends. So there you go, guys. That's where we stand on that stuff. Oh, here comes Anthony. Hey, good morning and welcome back, Anthony.
Sorry, I went off last night.
Oh, man, that's okay. Steve was going off. I was trying to be the calm one last night. Everyone was going. I was trying to play
I'm surprised
role of
you didn't go off either.
Yeah.
No, and to be honest, I have one more scenario. What happens, hypothetically, what happens if the Dolphins and Bills tie? Like, what happens?
Oh my God! Now that I haven't even seen anyone do that one. I don't even know how as far as we would have the better record as far as the division because we would still have the extra win over them at that point. But as far as seeding in the other, how that would mess up seedings, I don't know.
I thought we would have to face the Browns if we're the second seed. Wouldn't we?
It's how it's falling is no, we won't have to face because the
So
seventh.
they're going to be number 3.
Yeah, because they're going to be higher than that. So the 7th seed, we could, if we win, we're going to be the number 2 seed. So we're going to get the lowest seed. That's it, and that would be, either most likely it's going to be Buffalo. So most likely scenario.
And this is an honest question: if we have to face Jacksonville in the wild card, do they get? If they win their division, do they get home field advantage? Even though we have
any
the better
teams
record?
that win the division gets home field. I mean, if it's unfortunate that this is how it rolls in the playoff season, seeding. So,
is there a way we can do a record, a scenario predict like that record predictor? I understand most of our for that specific game. Could we do different scenarios?
Yeah, we can try. Yeah, let's see. Let me bring Dolphin Don in real quick. Hey, Dolphin Don.
Hey, Don.
Hey, good morning.
So
I want to sing that song for you guys about Josh Allen. In the Gulf War, we sang it about Saddam Hussein. We just wake up with coffee and say him, F, him. So, and we didn't use F. So
you know what's scary? we are basically. I don't know what it is. Josh dominate. Like Josh has him and Tom Brady of the quarterbacks we face in the AFC East dominate us. We struggle against Josh and Tom Brady. That's the only.
I think as long as our offense comes up and plays, like they did those first 2 drives, and that's a shout out to you, G-Man. But if they just keep their composure, make the plays they're supposed to make, and Tua starts airing it out a little bit more, I think.
Do you think our offense is one-dimensional, Don?
It got that way against Baltimore because we didn't. No, 18 ran, so no, I can't say that.
Throughout the year, like, have you noticed our offense being one-dimensional that we focus so much on the passing game?
Nope, because we've got so many. Look how many rushing yards we've got.
I know. Oh, real quick, guys, let me do some promoting. Miss Finns is in the house, guys. Check out her show every Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. She brings the good content every single day of the week, and as always,
we lost 2 of our top pass rushers for the season. How unlucky can we get?
No, I know we got Des, and hey, Timothy, big fins up to you, Timothy. Oh, you're right, Anthony. We lose Phillips and we use Chubb. I mean, 2 great edge rushers. It's
and
incredible.
People are criticizing him. I was just watching what is it called? NFL Network, and they were criticizing McDaniel for even allowing him to play in garbage time against the. That's how he got injured. Phillips. And they're criticizing him. They said they should have taken Chubb out. Did he get injured during the Baltimore or Cowboys game?
Baltimore.
Who?
Chubb.
Chubb was against the Ravens this past week.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. And they said they should have, like, with how bad we were getting blown out, Kyle Brandt and what's his name? The former receiver that played for the Seahawks, Nate Burleson, said we should have sat Chubb the rest of that game.
Yeah, I know. Believe me, I was saying it before it happened, but like Scotty says, people are just playing the results now, and it's unfortunate it happened. But yes, I don't know why Chubb was in there at the end of that game, but who knows? But he was, unfortunately, and now we have no Phillips and no Chubb going up against Buffalo, who we need to create pressure on Josh Allen because he
Well, and
Well,
I
he
think
does.
that was, yeah. I'm sorry, Rob. Well, I don't want to say it's that was pride. Hey, we don't want to lose by so much. I think that's all that was, and that's part of having a new coach who's in his second year that everybody wants to forget, and also wants the Monday morning quarterback. When you're in the heat of the moment like that, hey, yeah, we're playing for pride here. We're not going to lose by this much, but yeah, calmer heads, cooler
I
heads
made a
should
joke
prevail.
on Twitter
Yeah.
saying we got our get back after what we did to the Broncos.
Eh,
That's our get back right there. Getting blown out by that much.
No, hey, no,
Yeah.
you're right. Hey, I think Josh Allen would try and take over the game. This is from Timothy Washington, which would cause him to lose. Allen's what have. Well, I hope so. I hope so, Timothy. He would have 3 turnovers because he has beaten the Dolphins to a pulp lately. I don't know what it is against him. We just cannot control Josh Allen for whatever reason.
Well,
And Don, do you think as
yeah.
a young, you and Rob are probably, you've seen the success. I haven't seen any of it by chance, like playoff success from when Marino was playing and stuff like that. So can you, am I panicking saying we should move on from Tua after this season? I don't care if we're signed. This kid has limitations, and he, like, I can't. We're in a win now mode right now, and we can't wait for this kid to develop that killer instinct and stuff like that. And I'm losing my patience already. Like, I can't deal with this anymore.
To a point there. I see what you're talking about with Tua's lack of killer instinct, so forth. But I still think it's probably like 1 or 2 plays away from having that. Right now, our backs are up against the wall, but also Buffalo's backs are against the wall. If we're honest, they're going to be reckless. We're going to have opportunities to cash in on mistakes, and so are they. But I really feel like we've been a mash unit all year long. Uh, and the team loves Tua. It's undeniable. You see it
No,
on the Hard Knocks there. So
I
it's
have a
still
question.
possible.
If they had a choice, if
Uh-huh.
you guys had a choice, I think someone on Twitter asked this question. If you guys had a choice between, if you're the GM and you had a choice between moving on from Tua or McDaniel, who would you choose?
Oh, that'd be Tua for me. But now, who would you trade Tua for right now? Taking all the young quarterbacks
Honestly,
out there.
I
Yeah,
can't believe
yeah,
I'm saying this.
yeah.
I can't believe I'm saying this. I know this is a fantasy thing in my head, but with the whole, I read a lot of like Chargers blogs and the San Diego Tribune and the LA Tribune and stuff like that, and they're
Mhm.
saying that the cheap Spanos is not going to spend big money on Jim Harbaugh to come over, or Bill Belichick. He's going to promote from within and promote Kellen Moore to the head coaching position and stuff like that.
Well, all I know, guys, we got this year to worry about before we get into all of that next year. I want to worry about this game against Buffalo coming up. And hold on,
Hey,
G-Man.
G-Man.
But this week against Anthony against Buffalo is what we have to worry about. I'm gonna have you back, Anthony, during the draft season because you're always knowing all these prospects and stuff. So that
Hey Don, I have a question. I asked Rob, but I'm not sure if you can answer this. Let's say hypothetically the Dolphins and Bills tie. What happens then? Do we win the division, or
yeah, we're gonna win. Yes, Anthony, we win
or
the division because remember we got one
because
more
they have
win.
the
We would have
tiebreaker
one
over us?
more
Wouldn't
win in
they
that
win the division?
scenario.
Oh,
Wouldn't
that's awesome.
wouldn't the Bills have a tiebreaker over us
No, because we
because
got one more.
they beat us?
No,
No,
but we
'cause our
got one
record's
more
better.
win, Anthony. We got 11 wins. They got 10 wins. So a tie, we would still have 11 wins, and they would still have 10 wins. So
Okay.
we would come out ahead.
Okay. No,
So-
we lost against the. We have 10 wins. We have the same record.
No, we got 11 wins.
We have 11 wins.
Oh, we beat the Jets and the Cowboys, right?
Right.
Yes.
So yes, we got 11 wins.
Okay,
right now.
okay. I wasn't sure because
Yeah.
so the win against if we beat the Ravens, that would have been our 12th win. I'm so confused
Correct.
about how the record played out.
It's
or
crazy.
No,
record
because
is.
we got 11 wins right now. So anyway, good morning, G-Man.
How's it going?
G-Man.
Yeah. So
Dolphin Don, I think the football game's over after 2 drives. But how you doing?
I didn't say that. I just said it was the defense that lost the game. I wasn't pinning it all on the offense.
No, I mean the defense is definitely back to like their early season form, unfortunately.
Mhm.
But you can't really, when you look at all the game, I look at all of them together, all the hard games. First of all, I got to tell you guys, the only way I evaluate this team is against the good teams. I don't even bother evaluating us against the Jets or the Panthers or I don't care about those teams. I don't care about, they're not going to be in our way where we want to go. So I evaluate us against the teams that where we want to go. So the ones that are going to be in our way, the Buffaloes, the Kansas Cities, they're better at us at coach and at quarterback. What are we going to do? How are we going to close that gap?
No, you're right as far as Buffalo for whatever reason. And I don't know why we have to find a recipe to stop Josh Allen this week. That's the big key to the game because because Tua's number against Buffalo is not that great. I can get into that, but I don't want to put everyone's Debbie Downer. Since
Just do it. Just do it. I don't care. I'm already
Band-Aid off.
I'm already over. I'm already over. Just do it.
Yeah, no. So and then I will get down to it. Yeah.
No, but I'm talking, Rob. I'm talking long term. Like when we have to go up against like Kansas City, Cincinnati with Burrow. I don't know if we have that guy to match firepower with these AFC teams. I don't know if Tua is that guy. I really don't.
Burrow's out for the season.
Yeah.
I'm talking long term, dude. I'm talking about next year. The
Oh,
year
okay,
after
okay,
that.
okay. I'm confused. I thought you were
But
talking
real
about
quick, this is
season in the
Tua
playoffs.
against the Bills.
Right. No, okay. You want
So
to
he
talk
played
about
well
this
in
week?
December in the game last year. Tua is just 1-5 against the Bill with 5 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, and a 79.6 passer rating. Against against teams that he's faced more than once, Tua's passer rating is worse only against Tennessee. So the Bills, he struggles, and Josh Allen shines against us. So that's a big difference in the reasons we can't get over Buffalo for whatever reason.
I think Tua struggles against all good teams, not just Buffalo. He struggles against all the good teams. That's the problem. So the Dolphins got to take a long, hard look before they give him that money. And I don't know if you've been reading my comments, Rob, but I have a problem with the whole plan. It's like you have a win now team, 2 years, but you hire a coach with no experience. So now we're paying for his growing pains. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We're
Later,
losing.
Scotty. Check back in tomorrow, Scotty. But
G-Man, that's the issue. Our owner is cheap like the Spanos. He doesn't want to pay big money for a coach.
No, I don't think he's cheap. I think he thinks he's going to strike gold with these like young whiz kids like Adam Gase, and now he's got. It's like, dude, just get a football coach, a real football coach. If you have talent like we have, we just need a real football coach. We don't need Mike McDaniel. Belongs behind a computer designing plays. He does not belong on an NFL sideline at all.
Even as a coordinator?
I'd still want him up in the booth. He doesn't belong on a sideline. He's not a football coach. He's a designer of plays.
He's like a Shanahan, right?
And the Dolphins. Miss Vince, who knows her Dolphins just as well as anyone on YouTube. Make sure you check her out. She says it's over. This is where we are. The Dolphins will pay Tua no matter what. So
maybe, but it doesn't have to be $50 million.
Yeah,
please.
But no.
This
is what makes me mad, G-Man. Like we did this with Tannehill, and I'm almost to the point where I'm gonna be done. Like I'm to the point as a younger Dolphins fan who hasn't seen success, just giving up on the team. Like I can't deal with this.
I can't deal with this, man. I know what you're saying. I watched Dan Marino waste his career away. What do you think I thought? I thought that was, how do you waste a guy like that? But it's hard to win a championship, number one. But my problem with this franchise is they have bad plans. How do you don't go, they always hire a first-year head coach. Let's go back. Gase, first year. Philbin, first year. Brian Flores, first year. Wannstedt was second year. He coached for the Bears. That was his second job. He never hires a guy with experience, and it bites him in the ass, and he does it over and over and over.
So, hey, Bam, Defensive Player of the Year. He's a Miami Heat fan and Dolphin fan, obviously. He did point out that's true. It's not about money. That's where I would have to disagree with you, Anthony, because I mean, Ross will pay anyone any kind of money. If Greer comes and say, "Hey, pays this guy," you may pick on Ross for some stuff, but money-wise, Ross will spend the money on whatever needs to get done.
That's a question. Do you think if Ross was able to get Harbaugh, he would have taken the power away from Greer and given Harbaugh the ability to build the team he wanted?
I would.
He probably would have. Here's something else to kind of consider, guys. You're talking about getting rid of McDaniels or Tua. Where's Tua going to go when he's got McDaniels here? He's probably going to take a hometown discount just to stay with McDaniels.
Well, we'll see. But again, guys, we're kind of losing focus of what today. We got to focus on the Buffalo Bills today. There's going to be plenty of episodes that we can talk about the future. Because we know
I threw it off the rails a little bit.
Yeah, I know. But this week against Buffalo, Sunday night, they're coming in. They're going to try to take on our Miami Dolphins. We have the home field. We got to take advantage. G-Man, just as I know where you say we haven't shined, but this is our chance to go out, beat a quality team, and knock off Buffalo, who has owned us recently outside of the one game. That's the only game Josh Allen's ever lost to the Dolphins was last year at Hard Rock. So maybe we can continue that trend and go out and win this week. And it's going to be
So G-Man, you don't consider the win against the Cowboys against a good team, or do you think they're the same as us, basically?
Dallas is us. We are Dallas. We're like mirror images of each other. We can't get over the hump.
Okay, if we're going to talk about game plan, how did teams? You remember this now, G-Man? Back in the day, how did teams beat us with Marino? They controlled the clock, and that's the way we're going to beat Buffalo. We're going to have to. Our offense is going to have to go otherworldly, control the clock, and get scores against Buffalo. I think that's my key to the game.
Yeah, but you got to. Are you forgetting who the head coach is?
Hey, Insanity, big Finn.
He doesn't like controlling the clock. He likes to run reverses and trick plays and look fancy. And he wants people to say, "Wow, Mike McDaniel's a great play caller. Look at that guy." That's what he wants.
It's part of the growth process. You know, like I said, he's a second-year coach. He's going to do some stuff.
I've said this. He got bad habits from what's his name? Shanahan is the same exact way. They want to be the smartest guy in the room and not get any help.
Just win.
So if the Dolphins go out, G-Man, is what I'm trying to get at. If the Dolphins go out, don't tell me what your scenario, what you think, but Dolphins go out, they beat Buffalo, they get a playoff win, but then it kind of fizzles out from there. But you at least think the team took somewhat of a step forward?
Oh, no, absolutely. If they win a play, but right now, I don't know if they can win another game at all because they're just so hurt. They're all banged up. And you guys aren't pointing out one thing. What about the psychological effect? You don't think the players are second guessing themselves in these big games now? So they're saying, wait a minute, this is 5 times now that we've gotten our ass kicked. Something's wrong here. Maybe our coach doesn't have the right plan, but it's got to be, doubt has to be creeping in. Do you guys agree?
No, of course, some doubt, but that's why I said that's what I'm worried about because we have that monkey on our back that Buffalo has our numbers. So that's why I'm mainly concerned. I think we can match up okay against this year's Buffalo team. You think we would match up a little bit because they're not as dominant as they've been, but for whatever reason against us, they were the dominant team again. When we played them, they embarrassed us up there. So that's why I'm scared about this week.
If we win a playoff game, then I think we're still on the right track. We're still trending upwards. But if we get pounded these next 2 weeks, you tell me, how are we different from last year?
No, we'd be done if we get pounded.
Yeah.
Yeah. We all know this team is a shell of his former self. Dolphins winning this weekend is just wishful thinking with the current state of the roster that comes in from Booty Cheeks. Thank you, Booty Cheeks. Make sure you slap those thumbs up button.
And that's another thing. Can anybody explain to me why this team crumbles physically in December every year? They just drop like flies. That's 2 years in a row. 2 years in a row this has happened. So
I mean, some of it's probably bad luck. I mean, do you think we have state-of-the-art training staff and equipment?
I don't know.
Do all the things.
Tell me.
It's just to me. It's just
no. I think we still have the same training staff from the past 10 years, man. I think.
I'm sorry. They got to be looked at.
I don't know what it is with the Dolphins. We don't know how to hire a training staff.
The training staff needs to be evaluated. This is ridiculous now. 2 years in a row.
No, hey, I know. No, we've been brutalized with injuries. I mean, this has been brutal on the Dolphins front for injuries, and it is a part. But I know fans are tired of excuses, and they want victories, and I get that. But yes, it has been brutal on the injury front. And who I agree, Chan, he was an impact. He's the one guy that showed up against the Ravens. He averaged over 7 yards a carry,
I
caught
love
some
him.
passes, went up and grabbed the touchdown pass like the game was on the line.
Yep.
That young man, we found he's smaller, so maybe we can't use him as much as a bigger back. But there's definitely ways to work him into the game plan because that guy goes out there and he balls out.
Hey, to me, A-Chain is a Darren Sproles type. You can't be running him between the tackles constantly. He's way too small to take that punishment and stuff like that. We need a bigger back like a Fournette or a LeGarrette Blount, to be honest.
Well, Chris Brooks is supposed to be that guy.
Yeah. So hopefully, like you said, maybe he doesn't seem to be in the plan this year, but hopefully Mozart comes back this week, and we can work him into the play because it's just
Rob. You know how we win this week, Rob. We need our coach to make good decisions on game day.
No, for sure. There were some questionable decisions from him, for sure.
For 2 years,
I called out a couple, but he definitely overall, I think he's.
G-Man, I've said
some
for me, I said this. I've always thought this. Honestly, I think on the offensive side, having coaches that run your same scheme, can actually hinder the development of the offense sometimes because you don't have different points of view on how to run an offense. That's why I kind of wish we brought in a guy like Kingsbury as a assistant or something like that.
An advisor or somebody.
Yeah, an advisor to run to add like his spread. That's whatever type of offense he runs, the air raid and stuff like that. Because I hate this motion. That's what's happening with us too. The teams are getting up on our motions and these like screen passes, and he doesn't know any other routes. I don't know what it is. His scheme doesn't have any other route combinations.
No, I mean, he calls some really good plays at times. So yes, what's this? Like I said, overall, I think Anthony, he's done a very good job of he runs some routes that he gets guys wide open, and of course, it helps when you got the speed of Waddle and Tyreek Hill to get wide open. But he does design some plays but if anything, his knock is I'll go with G-Man. Is he gets away from the running game a little too quick at times.
Well, I think Rob. I think Anthony's not that far off. He calls plays that sometimes make you shake your head as to why. Why now? Like why did he rush Tua at the 2-minute warning? Why?
Yeah, no, that I would agree with that. I don't know why. Everyone was in my family that we were watching saying, just let it get down because we've seen them do that same thing before. But there was no reason. There's no reason that they should have rushed that play before. Because even if you are going to score, you don't want the Ravens to have the ball extra time. So there was no.
I think he has a lack of. That's what I'm saying. The bad habits he picked.
That could have been a Tua call, guys.
Yeah.
I
know, but that's where the coach
a robot.
Look at his quarterback and say, "Slow down."
He's giving him freedom to do his own thing, so I think that could have been a Tua call. Hey, let's go, we got him.
Tua does whatever McDaniel says.
Well, he's a yes man.
Good point. We haven't lost back-to-back games this year, so let's hope we don't lose backto-back games for the first time all years. So
I'm a pessimist. I don't trust. I'm losing faith already.
How could you trust this team? How could you possibly trust this franchise? 40-something years? Come on. I know this team has nothing to do with the old teams, but okay, let's just judge this team. How could you judge this team? How could you trust this team? They collapsed last year. I don't want to hear about we made the playoffs last year. We had to beat Joe Flacco and the Jets to get in the playoffs, and we needed help from Buffalo to beat New England. So that was bullshit. We made it this year on our own merit. I'll give us that. But
yeah, we did. And hey, Timothy, I love your positive energy. You need to come onto the show next time I do one of these. Timothy.
I say 190 and 1 touchdown.
Hey, Adam. Big fins up to you, Adam. Thank you for dropping in here and nailing those.
And G-Man, I said
Duke
I
isn't
told
so
Rob
happy,
earlier
though.
in the chat that I said this. I also said this on Twitter that I compared Tua to guys like Jimmy G and Kirk Cousins. They're gonna get you to the playoffs, but they're not gonna get. They're all right quarterbacks, but they're not gonna get you over the hump. They're not really like elite quarterbacks. They're good, but they're not gonna get you anywhere in the playoffs, really.
Well, that's what
I want to say something about this. We're talking about Buffalo. Like this big, somebody that we can, can't possibly beat. They put their pants on the same way we do. They struggled against New England. They struggled against San Diego, or excuse me, Los Angeles.
Yeah, I know what you meant. I say San Diego, and I didn't even think about what you said. I didn't even dawn on it.
I call the Raiders Oakland still.
Reason,
I call the Raiders Oakland, even though they've been in Vegas for 2 years.
Yeah, I say Redskins.
Yeah. So I mean, but they're not this big behemoth that we can't possibly have a hope of beating. Come on.
No, I'm not saying
they match up so
I think
well
we
against
have
us.
hope of beating them, but our track record the last few seasons against them, we haven't beat them except for one time. Like we're only 1-15. We're 1-15 against Buffalo.
Yeah, I get it. We're banged up. The chips are down. But at some point, I remember when Green Bay sucked.
Yeah.
And before they became a good team again, and San Francisco sucked back in the day too. As a Dolphin fan, I felt sorry for those guys. Yeah. Sorry.
And I think that's the difference between our fan base and most other fan bases. Our fan base has a lack of patience because of the mediocrity we've dealt with the past 40 years.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah. It's been a long ass time. You're right.
A lot of incompetence. There's been a lot of incompetence in that building. Jeff Ireland, Joe Philbin, you name it. Mike Tannenbaum. I mean, it's so bad.
Well, what I hope happens is if this, I hope the guy that he's selling the 30% is the guy who runs the team on the day-to-day. He's a day-to-day operating.
No, 30% is not going to get you the operating. If you're 30%
day-to-day operations,
no way. If you're 30% owner, you're not running anything.
Yeah, no, it's Ross is the 100% owner. He's made it clear if he sells a minority stake, he still has decisions of everything. He's still the majority owner.
Lucky us.
He's only doing this because he wants to open up other sport ventures and stuff. So he wants to free up some capital to buy some other sports.
Just sell the Dolphins outright then. If you don't,
please leave. Please sell the team.
Well, to me, Stephen Ross, yes, he's done some things, but overall, the man spends money. So as long as we know this guy will come in and spend
I have a
money.
question, G-Man. You've dealt with both Huizenga and Ross. Who's more incompetent?
Ross by a mile. Huizenga tried to get the quality guys. He got Jimmy Johnson. He got Bill Parcells. He got Nick Saban. This guy brings us Adam Gase. Are you kidding me? It's not even close.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Like,
no, I mean, Huizenga did bring in the big names. That's for sure.
He tried. He
got Nick Saban and stuff. It just didn't work out. But
this never got us running back.
Trash.
Never got us a running back, and he did the Jimmy Johnson thing way too late.
Yeah, Marino was too old.
Yeah. Well, guys, it's another end of the show. Guys, if you've been watching and you've liked what you've seen, Emmett, if you haven't, why don't you do me a favor and held those thumbs up? You guys rock. It was another fun episode. G-Man, Dolphin John, Anthony, thank you so much. Finsanity, Miss Fins, Timothy, Duke, all you guys. We're all over the place. Duke doesn't think we have a chance. Timothy thinks we have a good chance. I love the varying opinions because that's the end of the day. That's all it is. We're going to see what happens Sunday night against Buffalo. And to me, Josh Allen, the only reason I'm worried because Josh Allen's 9-2 against the Miami Dolphins. 9-2.
You should be worried, Rob.
Yeah, that's a big thing to overcome. But if we can beat them, then we may very well have to beat them 2 weeks in a row. Is what really.
Have a good day, Rob.
I don't I don't like that, Rob. I don't like that we have to play them 2 weeks in a row. Do not want that.
Yep. I mean, there is a chance if Baltimore doesn't go out to win this week and then they lose, there is some scenarios where we don't have to play them back to back. We can actually knock Buffalo out of the playoffs. So hopefully maybe some things fall our way finally, but we will see.
We're not beating them 2 weeks in a row. No chance. So let's play somebody else.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm hoping. But, thing is, if we lose to Buffalo, then we got to go on the road for all 3 playoff games. So you got to find a way to beat Buffalo this week in my book.
We're not winning in KC because remember we played them tough. That was in Germany. This is going to be an Arrowhead. Their crowd is going to be all over us. Our offense doesn't work in crowd noise. We can't win in KC.
No, I know. Hey, Bam. I don't know what it is. If you can like it over there on Twitter. So. If you could like it, thank you, Joe. Oh, man, look at that. That's the best. Hey, I said keep that. No one has to see my mug that way. That is great. But anyway, guys, thank you. Scotty, sorry if I ran you out today. I hope you're back in the very near future. But you guys all rock. It's all fun. Dolphins, fins up, no matter what. Hey, shake money right at the end. But go over there and shake that thumbs up button. Big fins up to you, Shake, and the Fins tailgate. You always bring I just had a panel shake, and you guys always have good panels over there and bring the heat every single day. To me, I once in a while drop the panel shows on our people, and that's what I did this morning. So hopefully the Dolphins drop Buffalo out of the division title. We need to close that out, or it'd be a very disappointing end to the season after having a 3-game lead on the division title just a couple of weeks ago and then lose it all away. It's not how you want to close out the season. Go out there, Miami, smack Buffalo in the mouth, bring back that victory, and there would be a better taste in Dolphin fans' mouths after that. Don't know how many of you guys watched the show last night, Hard Knocks. Talked about it a little bit in the beginning. It's okay. It's just because we lost. Wasn't one of the best episodes. The previous one, when it had Dan Marino and the Christmas stuff, was the best one. So, of course, I'm biased because we had won that week. So, it's all good. Guys, it's a big fins up to you. I am out of here. Just be safe out there. Have fun. Thank you for joining. There's a lot of other options out there. So, thank you so much.
Dolphins thirsty, they never show no mercy. On the field or in the game, Miami knows how to play. Dolphins thirsty, we all get down and dirty. Tell you what you wanna know, it's the Dolphins Show. Quench your thirst for all things Miami Dolphins. They are the football kings, cause they play to win. Come on in and have some fun, whether we have lost or we have won for all.